Outraged over the death of George Floyd and other Black Americans during police encounters, a growing number of protesters are calling for dismantling the current system of policing in the United States.
The police receives billions and billions of dollars in order to brutalize minority communities, specifically Black communities, which is completely unjust. It is oppression, it is racism in its finest.
With defund the police becoming a rallying cry, there's growing debate over what that might mean. The dictionary definition of the word is to withdraw funding from. But advocates say, though, it's not about eliminating police departments, but instead diverting funds away from what they consider a militarized force, long accused of racism.
It means making sure that the resources that we put into the police that could be better spent on public health and social workers and public services that our communities desperately need are getting those funds, as opposed to just going to the police, which are driven primarily in a lot of ways by violence.
But not all protesters agree with the broad slogan.
We can weed out the bad and keep and bring in the good, then I prefer that. I want to be able, if I need them, to call them.
Still, the movement is gaining steam. Los Angeles and New York officials have promised to cut their police budget, and the city council in Minneapolis, where Floyd died, has vowed to disband their police department.
Our commitment is to end our city's toxic relationship with the Minneapolis Police Department, to end policing as we know it.
It has been done before. Advocates point to Camden, New Jersey, for years considered one of the deadliest cities in the U.S., disbanded and rebuilt their entire police department in 2013. Violent crime rates declined significantly since. Such a major reform just requires a bold reimagining of the status quo, says Professor Justin Hansford.
The thing with segregation, some people thought, wait, this is our way of life. Isn't it better if we're separate? You know, we've been like this for decades, but we were able to fight against segregation. And similarly, I think today with policing, the idea of abolishing it, it encourages us to think about replacing it with a better system.
But opponents to defunding say a one-size-fits-all approach to police reform is a bad idea.
If leadership has failed, management has failed, culturally the department hasn't properly served its residents, then yes, it should be revamped or restructured. But to just simply say, we're going to dismantle, then what's your plan? And not all police departments are created the same. You can't just do a broad brush.
With lawmakers watching, as demands to restructure policing in America intensify, the movement is likely to be a hot-button issue in an already polarized election year. Jason Samuel, VOA News, Washington.